Hi, I'm Alexander, the organizer of the Marburg Open competition we do every year. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your own Alex profile and how to upload this into your Condor. So in this video, I just opened the program Alex Styler. You can download this from the regular Alex homepage. With this program, you can change your nav boxes like this right here. All right, so over there you have your nav boxes, and I'm going to explain now why you need to set it up and how you're going to set it up. So in this example, this is my personal configuration, I did with the Alex Styler, because my intention was to reduce those pages. In the standard profile, there are a lot of pages also over there, like statistic mode, info mode, near mode. I use near mode in real flying, but you don't need this in Condor. And so I deactivated those pages. And I also reduced my pages over there. I have to point out that you cannot deactivate the setup mode. So this is there. You can deactivate this, but I really recommend to reduce your pages. So those two pages are the pages I fly with in Condor. So how do I change those nav boxes? I'm going to show you really quick. You double click on the profile, and then your Alex shows up, and then you can move your nav boxes like the way you want. And also when you click on data, you can select the nav boxes you want. Maybe you want the current flap settings. You click on this, and then it will show up, and you can move it to the position where you want. But let's talk now about the nav boxes. Over here you see the track, and the heading to the next turn point. Over there you have the ground speed. You really need this, to not get penalty points. And in Marburg Open we have set it up to 250 kilometers ground speed. So this is the indicator you need to use. What's also important is your distance to target, also your arrival, and this is the speed to fly. So if you're heading to a turn point, it shows you the speed you have to fly. And of course there's the time remaining over there. This is for AAT, especially when maybe the AAT time is 1 hour and 30, it will show here and it counts down, so you see your time remaining. This is really important when you fly AAT tasks. Now on the left side of the Alex Styler, you can set up way more options, but I'm not going to explain this in this video, so you have to click around and play with it. So yeah, but basically the main thing is to set up your nav boxes. So let's talk about my second page. This is my airspace page right here. In the standard configuration, this is very small, so it makes it hard to use in Condor, so I made this bigger, and over there I have a nav box, specifically for airspaces, which shows the distance and your height. And also I have a few more nav boxes in there, like your task speed and stuff like this, your arrival time and stuff. But you can also do this for you as you want. But this is my configuration right there. Let's focus now on the question, how do I get my personalized profile into my Condor Alex? Well, you go on File and click on Save As, and this window will open. Now you choose your Condor folder, go to Alex Sim, and then you see a folder called SD card. You're gonna save it in there. This is your virtual SD card, and so you're going to save this. So let's talk about the next step. You open the LXSIM now and you see this knob right here, and you click on it and push it a little bit down, and you come into the main menu. Now you click on Profiles and Pilots, and you go on this SD card slot right there. Now choose your folder, which is Condor 3, LXSIM, and SD card. And now you see all my profiles I saved on my virtual SD card. Now if you want to copy your profile to the LX, you choose the one you want and click on load. And after this is done, your profile is loaded into the LX. The second step, what you also need to do, is to activate your profile. So you click on the profile you want to activate and click on active. And after you've done this, this is activated. So you can close this all, and this will be your profile you're going to fly with. So now in the following, I recommend to go back into the setup and click on sounds and on voice. And normally those are all activated. Well, it's really annoying to have, those messages during the flight. So I recommend to uncheck them all, so it's really helpful to uncheck them to have a peaceful flight. Also, it is important to go to QNH and reserve and set up the safety altitude to 0. In Marburg Open, we automatically have a safety altitude, so you don't need this. Otherwise, you come in too high. There's another thing I really recommend to set up when you go into graphics on glider track, and you can set up the width of your track and target. I really recommend to make this thicker. You can make this with the buttons up and down. All right. So yeah, with this you can make your track wider. And it's really helpful because it's really thin in the standard configuration. So I recommend to set this up correctly. You can also do this inside of the task section. Make this a little bit thicker. I really recommend this, so it's better to see inside of the Condor.